Welcome to The Advocate, a program that thrashes out all the topical issues of the day.
When you are in government, you don't see nothing wrong with whatever is happening. The moment you are out there, everything is wrong.
You can't even see many women now, and when they're there, they're not even really making a mark, and then they have an NYSC problem and this and that.
One of the reasons why we don't have more women in politics in Nigeria is for as long as political meetings continue to take place in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
Really disastrous for a president
to even say
be unaware of the chief
It's
justice.
a ploy. It could be a strategy.
That strategy was
Backfired.
terrible strategy. Because the buck stops at your table.
Whether it's that we don't look after our cities, and quite frankly, Nigeria is becoming a very ugly place.
When you are the only one feeding the people with this news and there is nobody countering them, it becomes, the news.
You're watching The Advocate on Plus TV Africa. Time to speak out on behalf of the animals. What to do about the care of animals in Nigeria? Can we continue to look after animals in our zoos, given the sorry state of some of the zoological gardens? We see images and stories being shared online about the lack of care of the animals. And why do we, most Nigerians that is, see the concept of animals in zoos as some sort of cultural conflict? A conflict that is evident in images of starving lions and other animals in our zoos, the stories of some gentlemen trying to sell Yankari Game Reserve. Yes, some people try to. We live in Africa, a continent famed for its wildlife, yet very few people I know, at least in this city, have seen lions, leopards, elephants, or other forms of wildlife beyond bushmeat and alligators, which are delicacies for some. In Nigeria, the conflict is also evident when local villagers who may be facing hunger and deprivation feel that the beached whale is food from the gods, or a rare albino hippo is prize meat. Now talk about poachers who see the killing of endangered species as a business. But the reality is that zoos are important to help bring people and animals together, providing a great opportunity to educate, especially our young people, about the importance of nature and fostering of a beneficial ecosystem. Zoos have the added benefit of providing safety to endangered animals. So it is truly sad and worrying to read about the rising neglect of zoos in Nigeria. We hear and see tales of animals not being fed regularly and workers being underpaid. In some states, Enugu for example, the old zoo has been demolished and reallocated to a housing estate now called the Zoo Estate, and there are roads in that estate that bear the names of animals like Giraffe Lane and Ostrich Circle and so on. So Nigerian zoos have been accused of starving wild animals in their care, as illustrated by the case of skeletal lions in the Obafemi Awolowo University Zoological Garden. And last year, a Twitter handle, Mr. Sawyer, posted a photo that quickly went viral of a frail-looking camel at the National Children's Park, Abuja. So why do we keep animals in captivity if we're unwilling to look after them?
It's a good question. I don't know why we do that if we can't look after them. And I expect we can't look after them. We can barely look after ourselves.
Yes.
So I bet practically most animals are starving. Even forget the people that look after them. So I think, we should let the animals go back to wherever they took them from.
No, but you know why I think? Because he mentioned Zoo Estate, and I live near there. And it's a pity because when we lived in Enugu, there was nothing to do with children really, except to go to ShopRite. Yeah. That was the highlight of your outing as a family. And I think it's really helpful, going back to Chuka's topic last week, if you learn to look after animals, even when you don't have much, it breeds a certain humanity in you. It makes you appreciate certain, So, I think it's something to be encouraged. I think we do have money for it. I think it's something that we should definitely put on the table for the governments to make sure we have certain parks, because it's about standard of living, it's about quality of life. We must have certain parks for our children, we must have certain zoos it's really important. It's not something we should neglect. No. As it is, where we live, there are hardly any garden space.
I totally agree with you, Ekene. I love zoos, I love safaris, I love all of that. But what we know about Nigeria is that we can't take care of anything.
But we need it, that's what I'm saying. So it's a priority in my mind.
And these are
lives
we're talking about, right? Yeah. Animals are alive.
Yeah.
We can't look after anything. We don't have lights.
We need to learn.
Gutters are open.
It's
so
important.
how do we think animals will be looked after?
Even the people looking after the animals,
yes.
If you're not even feeding them and you want them to now find food and give to the animals, they're going to even be eating the animals' food.
The research shows that those people were
It's amazing because I didn't realize Agodi Gardens was that good. I'd been hearing Agodi Gardens. I didn't even realize. So
Which is
once
where?
Ibadan, sorry.
Okay.
So we went one day for something because they were going to do some project in there, and the place is a forest. At some point, I felt I was in the deep forest somewhere, and I was in Ibadan, center of Ibadan for that matter. I was like, it looked like there was a village nearby, and you could film there. Then we got to where the lions were. Oh God, those lions were finished. So I took the
Hungry, as in
photograph.
starving.
Yes, I took the photograph, put it on Facebook because funny then Instagram was not. I was not on Instagram anyway, and it wasn't all. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm sure it would have really been carried. Whatever. I still have it on Facebook. I was going to search for it and show it to you guys. And I just thought to myself, but what can we really do?
I think we need to push for.
Yeah, but
I'm going to be the dissenting voice. I don't like zoos.
We're not eating. We're not.
You don't like
drinking
animals?
Water.
No, I don't like. I don't like zoos.
Okay.
It's different from I don't like animals.
Keeping
I
them in
don't
captivity.
I don't think animals need to be kept in captivity. I think human beings won't like it, and that's not because I'm a human rights, I'm an animal rights person. I don't understand what fascination people have with going to zoos to look at.
But you don't mind safaris?
No, living, but safaris are not in the zoo.
No, that's what I'm asking.
I've been
so
to
that people
safari
can know the
before.
difference.
But even then, I respect myself.
I agree with that.
What I don't understand is the fascination or how it is you enjoy watching something living, breathing, another animal like all these a different breed, and who should actually be free in their own habitat, and yet you confine them into for your pleasure. I find it abhorrent. I think it's disgusting. I think those who think children need to go to zoos should be ashamed of themselves. Allow me to finish. I think they should try putting their children in a zoo and seeing how that feels. No, live animals. It is the same.
No, it's not.
Actually, it is the same, and I'll tell you why. Oh
my gosh.
Animals like you and I. And I promise you, it's not because I don't know much about animal rights or anything. And I'm just applying it to me as a person, as a member of the human race. Like you and I, we're all creatures of comfort, communication, interaction, yada, yada, yada. You take people, and when we're in our own habitat, we flourish and we do better. You take in our natural habitat, that is, you don't think it's okay to take animals out of their natural habitat and put them in a man-made metal structure for your pleasure?
Well, we've gone beyond the metal structures.
No, we haven't. We haven't.
Let me kind of...
Whether they feed them or not is in there or there.
To the discussion. So there's one thing about the concept of zoos as a place where you confine animals. And there's another thing about zoo as a place where you confine the animals, yet you're unable to take care of them. And then there's a third leg of this, which is really like what Irete is talking about. How do you define zoos nowadays? Because I think that there's a narrative all over the world by people in PETA saying you can't keep animals in zoos and so on, and you should recreate the habitat. But the reality also is that human beings, we need animals. Some animals will die without human intervention. Okay. Or because of human
intervention.
Intervention. If we don't, some animals will go inside
the wild.
So I think the question is, if you go to like if you leave the pandas in China, for example, without human beings trying to intervene
and get them bred and whatever, they will go into extinction.
But the other thing, though, on the far extreme, some people say, so what happens if they go extreme? So let them go extreme. And it's nature.
You mean extinct?
Yeah, if they go extinct. Yeah. But my point is, we still need
to feed the ones that
are in.
No, I think we agreed on that.
I don't disagree with
so
you.
we need to take care of. We need to take better care of those animals.
Okay, but can I drop?
But I wanted to come back and explain to you why zoos. At least the reason why I see zoos as important. I know it's not ideal for the animal to be there, but I look at zoos as a way for children to come up close, to learn, to be able to see these animals up close. And because when you go to safaris, there's no guarantee that you may see the animal
ride the lion.
or that you may even
I know,
see the
yeah.
animal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They may not
you
come
know,
out.
In their
and you could
habitat,
drive around and you probably just see two animals, wildebeest and another boring animal. But with the zoo,
People like wildebeest.
Warthog.
Yes, warthog. Yes, the lots of warthog.
That's what you
That's a
generally
hippo.
see all the
Yes,
time.
yes,
But you know, at least with the zoo, you can go to a particular place. You can see the
Python,
lion,
yeah.
like we saw the lion at Colchester. We saw the lion, the monkey doing, you know, we saw all these things up close, and that's an opportunity for children to get to
That's
see
how
them
it
up
started,
close.
Yeah,
really.
I feel that it's helpful, and I'm repeating my point just to emphasize it. It's helpful for Nigerians to imbibe a culture of care.
Yeah.
And animals apparently are good for people who have issues to
Oh,
learn.
Igbos.
No, Nigerians. Everybody.
No.
Everybody. And the ironic
think
thing is,
everyone.
the same Nigerians who act like they don't have time to go and, you know, Yankari, they'll go to Dubai and they'll be oohing and paying lots of money
That's
to look
because
at
they're
animals.
supposed to.
They'll go to, but when they come here, it's as if, you know, you
But
take it
those
for
are the
granted.
middle class. I mean, that's what I mean. But
Irrespective, I
it's a
think
small
we all need to
percentage
learn.
of Nigerians.
No, you'll be
I'm telling
surprised that
when
even people who
are
live in the
poor
rural
and they
areas
get to
can
eat,
have respect
what
for
is
animals.
this?
We need to. But
I'm not saying don't
so-
respect them.
But I think what Emeka is doing really is that
Even
it's
if it's
about
chickens.
pressure groups. He shouldn't stop a pressure group on
There's money for
animals just because I haven't eaten properly.
them free.
I'll fight
All of
for
them
my
are important.
food. The animals will be fought for.
Yes,
And all
everybody,
that. So we just
everybody.
keep fighting. Fight for NEPA.
Yes,
or
and there's
whatever their
money
name
for
is.
it.
I think it's beyond poverty.
Yes.
I think it's beyond. I think it's a mindset.
Thank you.
I don't think it's because you know we were poorer in the 70s. Yeah, there's more money now in circulate. There's more money.
No, we were less as well.
No, well, yes. So, but we
So
were
have less
poorer.
children so you can look after the
So we looked after
That's like a
animals.
refrain now.
And so so if you use the excuse of poverty, I'm sure that poor people in New York.
Have,
Yeah,
have
they
dogs.
have cats
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah, but there's a
dogs
zoo there.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure there are poor people in other parts of the world. I'm sure there are very many poor people in South Africa, and there's a zoo there.
Massive
I'm-
reserves.
Yeah, and that advocacy was designed to expand our horizons. When we come back, Chuka is similarly targeted about his advocacy after the break.